Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's another bot author recommended replay. We have got a newer bot known as Zergling Rushbot. And taking on Zergling Rushbot is going to be LiShiMin V2, a cannon rushing bot. And so we have got two of the most basic cheeses going to be going up against each other, I presume anyway, seeing as how Zergling Rushbot's name is Zergling Rushbot, so I think we've got a pretty good idea of how it's going to go. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead, click that like button. If we can get 1 like for every pylon that is attempted to be placed on creep, that would be amazing. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot matches, and then subscribe if you haven't already. So here's the thing about Zerg. They have a pretty good natural defense when it comes to cannon rushes, and that is the fact that, well, you can't build pylons on creep. The day you can build pylons on creep is the day Zerg goes extinct. Yes, that does complicate things. LiShiMin does keep losing probes, as Zergling Rushbot does have behavior to actually pull drones against a threat, which is interesting. And it's working pretty well, as there's no avoidance behavior here from LiShiMin, as the probe is just going to try and come back in. Looks like it's just probe after probe being sent to their death. At least new probes are being produced, but it is literally just a line of probes running across the map, one after another. So far, no pylons have gone up, as a lot. It seems like it's just random placement here, and we do get the first pylon going up for LiShiMin, and that means we could eventually get cannons as another probe comes on in. Nope, Zergling Rushbot says to the last man. The very aggressive text there. Some drones are actually heading out for battle, though, going for that next probe that came on in. More drones being pulled. A lot of mining time is being lost for Zergling Rushbot, which hasn't actually built a single Zergling yet. It's just had its mining disrupted by the constant flow of sacrificial probes to its base. Now, we have got more probes coming on in here. There is going to be an attempted cannon. That could be a big deal. No, it's a pylon first, and then another probe comes on in. He goes for another pylon, but then dies, as these drones are just securing lots and lots of kills. More probes coming on in, though. More pylons being built. The drones and lings are getting aggressive against these pylons. The drones are actually going for this probe down here, and then I don't know where they're going. Okay, okay, they're going to start mining on the low ground, because I'm guessing they're just queued to go to the nearest mineral patch to mine, I guess. So far, though, not a single cannon has been successfully assembled by LiShiMin, so LiShiMin's in a bit of trouble. Turns out constantly sending probes to their death is pretty expensive, so it doesn't exactly have a big amount of minerals in its pocket. More probes coming forward and being killed by drones and lings. The probes are attempting to make the mad dash, and then the lings are just chilling. We're getting burrow research, because why not? And then Zergling Rushbot is just doing some long-distance mining, weirdly enough. Notably, there isn't speed mining behavior programmed into Zergling Rushbot, but it's still doing better than LiShiMin, which is still just sacrificing its probes one after another. I'm wondering if there actually is a world in which LiShiMin will actually kill itself, because it just sends all its probes across the map. The number of active workers it has is getting smaller and smaller, as it just sends out more and more. Meanwhile, Zergling Rushbot is just long-distance mining, but it's fuelings and drones that are so aggressive keep killing these probes. Apparently, you can shut down a cannon rush if you just pull all your workers every time. It works. Now, there is a lair going up for Zergling Rushbot. It's getting up a hatchery. This makes me wonder if it's entering some sort of cleanup mode or something like that, where it is going to maybe get up like mutas or something. So then it can potentially hunt for floating buildings, something like that. That's something you need programmed into your bot. if you are going to play the late game. We actually get a queen going on up for Zergling Rushbot, which is interesting. Meanwhile, more probes being sent to their death. There's only 7 active presently. And I think, in theory, Zergling Rushbot should just win this one. I'm not sure how LiShiMin can possibly win. And so we're just going to fast forward a little bit here. As the drone count's rising, there's no expo going up, just an extra hatchery in the main base, because why not? More long-distance mining continues. LiShiMin is down to 1 probe mining inside the main base. Make that 2 probes, with a 3rd on the way, but I'm guessing there's going to be another. Oh gosh, the probes are just going to extinct themselves. Oh dear. Okay, well, there's 2 left. There may be 3, but I feel like one's going to get drafted pretty soon. Yep, and they're gone. Okay, 1 remains. I'm wondering how this works, because maybe there will always be a probe, because I'm willing to bet LiShiMin only sends out the probe when it's got the money to actually do so. Which is less than what it takes to build a worker, so it might just always be building a worker before doing that. Roaches are now out for Zergling Rushbot. The only thing Zergling Rushbot needs to do here is to attack. Slowly the lings are getting dragged across the map by the probes that keep running towards their death, which is funny because Zergling Rushbot seems to have decent behavior for things, but it's just not programmed to attack yet, which is bizarre, which is fair when you're dealing with an odd situation like an endless stream of workers being run into your base. It's notably not attacking the pylons either. Those are just chilling. And I'm wondering if these lings are going to get close enough to attack the Nexus and potentially end the game here. We'll see. As another probe goes on in. And another. Oh, we hear the word kill. It's kill. And it looks like Zergling Rushbot is going to take this one. However, now is where I drop the bombshell and say, it's an hour-long replay, guys. And, okay. Bird noises. I'm not even going to try and say that. I don't know what sort of bird sounds like that. Yes, I'm guessing that Zergling Rushbot is just programmed to attack the main base, because this game does end in a draw, as we can see by the hour-long timer. And we're not going to watch that, so click that like button, leave a comment down below. I will jump us into the next game. Zergling Rushbot says, Zerg noises, bird noises, Zerg noises, kill, Zerg noises. Okay. Anyway, yes, I'll load us into another game. All right, so here we are into our second game of the day. It's going to be another bot author recommended replay. It is Princess Mika Test taking on Siriusbot. So a newer bot, Siriusbot, taking on a bot that's been around a while and has quite deep functionality from the games I've checked previously, but Princess Mika being the test version, so who knows what's going to be going on with it. Lots of bot authors have test versions for their bots because, well, programming's hard and you need to see things actually work before you sort of recognize and keep a change you make. So yeah, we've got a ZVZ, but a bot versus bot. For our second match of the day, we're getting early pools out of both of them, interestingly enough. And yeah, we'll just see where this one's going to go. Looks like there's a drone moving out for Siriusbot. I'm not sure where to, though, as it's got a decent chunk of change, but doesn't actually throw up its natural base till a little bit later than it could have. This natural base could have been much quicker. As we can see, Princess Mika also opened with an early pool. And then, but it got out a hatchery much, much quicker. So maybe not the most refined timings there for Siriusbot. But anyway, we do have a spawning pool done for both of these bots. We've got an expo on the way for both of these bots. A bit of a delayed drone scout for Siriusbot, but it's still moving out, trying to collect information. We see more drones entering battle as Princess Mika pulls its drones to shut that down. And then we have got, yeah, just 2 Zergs, Zerging it up. Interesting gas by Siriusbot, taking that at the natural instead of the main base, where the hatchery's already finished, but I guess why not? Not really sure what's going on there. Princess Mika returns its own drone to the base of Siriusbot, so each bot giving up a drone to scout. For now, though, Princess Mika is being a much more, well, less economically focused bot, as it has got only 11 drones out. It's building a good number of lings, and then we have got a roach horn going up as well, so that is not cheap. We have got gas now being mined at the natural of Siriusbot, so that's a lot of gas for a Zerg bot, which makes me wonder what it's going to spend this on. If it's mutas, that would be something that's very cool, but I'm gonna hold my breath, as mutas are just not common at all as far as bot games go. They just yeah, they just don't seem to be that common. They're not that strong of units. The regeneration, of course, is something that's very powerful when it comes to bots, because they can, in theory, pull units back in time always, but it just takes so long to tech up to mutas. You're vulnerable. You have to really cut your income if you want to get them out in a timely manner, and then otherwise in the late game, they just don't seem to stand up. So for now, Siriusbot just mining a lot of resources, but not really spending it on anything. Heavily bottlenecked by the minerals here, as it pulls in an incredibly high amount of gas. And yeah, I'm just not sure what it's going to be going for. It is getting out more drones, so its mineral income will be rising. Meanwhile, Princess Mika just building up its own economy. It looks like some drones might have got aggressive against a scouting ling or something like that. The Zerg bots are on relatively even economies at this point, and very few things have died. Just 1 drone and a bit of resources lost due to an extractor trick. For now, we are getting an overseer for Siriusbot. Nothing making use of that lair yet, though. Or I guess pneumatized carapace. You need a lair for pneumatized carapace, unless I'm mistaken. I am not a Zerg player, but I'm fairly sure that you need that. And then we do actually get a spire on the way for Siriusbot. It's a very delayed spire. Princess Mika identifies it, so it'll be curious if Princess Mika responds at all. For now, though, the red Zerg bot just building 2 spine crawlers in its main base. I'm not sure what it saw that made it get so nervous, as it goes for a ridiculously over-the-top defensive play. Yeah, I'm curious, like, because there's only 8 lings, but that just highlights how difficult it is to program a bot, because it's like, what do you classify as a threat? I think a reasonable thing would probably just be to say, hey, my opponent has got more stuff, or probably got more stuff than I do, so react accordingly. But of course, it's not that simple. We do have more and more spine crawlers going up for Princess Mika. This is quite strange, just how many spines this is. Unfortunately, it's a ton of spines, not a single spore. Siriusbot is about to have that spire done. Whether we'll actually see mutas or not, I do not know, because bot games are wacky like that. Banelings are moving forward for the blue Zerg, so that's not something we see in a lot of bot games, but here we go. Random Banelings, hey-o. And then we have got Carapace on the way, but the Banes will just be deleted by the spine crawlers, so I guess the spines are kind of worth it. Dang, those Banelings deal a lot of damage to spine crawlers. Holy smokes. And we do have our first Mutalisk on the way, so Princess Mika will need to panic and get up some anti-air. It's got just 2 queens out, so it could be very vulnerable, but then we're getting a Corruptor out of Siriusbot, which is just weird. And yeah, more tech going up. This is such a bot game. As we look at the Overlords freaking out, an Overseer is making the rounds. Meanwhile, there's also a random Baneling hanging out inside an Overlord. I'm wondering if the rest of those Banelings were supposed to be in this Overlord. And yeah, literally just 1 Muta. This Muta is going to have its hands full if it tries to kill off all of these overlords. Who knows? Maybe it'll get them. I do not know. There is a Baneling running forward. Looks like this queen's going to take that Bane to the face. Look at how little damage the Banelings do to a queen compared to how much they did to the spine. Corruptor is now out on the map. That can potentially kill some overlords. Probably a little quicker than the single Muta, but a queen is working away on it. Lings will eat the queen, though. And now we're getting Banelings into the overlord for Siriusbot. We'll see what they're going to get done. I wonder if they're just going to unload on the spines or if they'll actually prioritize going for drones or not. Looks like Siriusbot is a little unsure. Meanwhile, there's still the Corruptor doing some work. Other queens going down for Princess Mika, probably trying to pad out to get the Muta and the Corruptor. Meanwhile, a base does get shut down. We're getting a hive on the other side of the map. What a crazy bot game this is. There's a fourth base going up for Princess Mika, so it's definitely got the economy if it wants to get up some anti-air. Not that it really needs it, because it's not exactly losing. Like, there's not that much of a threat of air units. It kind of just needs to pull its overlords back, which unfortunately it's not doing. It's already lost 4, and that number's rising. 14 drones have actually died. Was that a Baneling drop? It must have been. Pardon me, I think I'm actually going to do a rare rewind, because I'm curious, how did all these drones die? Yeah, it's only 2 now. Okay, there was the big Baneling drop, and that kills off a hefty amount of drones. Princess Mika's economy gets knocked down to 44. Meanwhile, Siriusbot does have its fourth base going on up. We're getting a counter spire for Princess Mika. A Hydra Den's very important to deal with mutas. And then we're just getting, I don't know, more Banelings on the way, because why not? I've never seen a bot go for so many Banelings. Siriusbot's just kind of running individual Lings out. Corrosive Bowls for Princess Mika. Hit the Muta. The Muta doesn't dodge. And the next Corrosive Bowl may actually kill off that Mutalisk. We'll see. It's going to take at least 2 more, so it may take a moment. And then we've got the Corruptor still flying around. It starts puking on a spine crawler. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I guess, in theory, the spine could get up and run away. The queen will kill the Corruptor, though. Another Muta is being made. I'm wondering if that's because the previous one died. No, there's actually going to be, or pardon me, yes, one did die, but there's going to be 2 Mutas in total, so that's something, I guess. What a strange bot match here. I mean, sometimes I write off the lower level, more derpy bot games, but I'm pretty invested in this one. I'm curious to see where it's gonna go, because these 2 bots are just playing like absolute chaos, as we do have the Mutas trying to push these roaches and Lings away. Queens stepping out on creep here for Siriusbot. The Mutas are very nice for Siriusbot until Princess Mika gets up some anti-air, which it is getting up Hydras. We are having upgrades go up across the board for both these bots. More random Banelings rolling on in, and yeah, let's see. Queen's trying to retreat. The roaches are still causing a problem. There's still 3 Mutas. Well, there's 3 Mutas out now for Siriusbot. They don't have any attack upgrades, but they're getting +1 attack, and eventually they can maybe clean this up. Princess Mika responds with its own Banelings, so that's cool. We're getting a ZVZ with Banelings in a bot match. Banelings are just usually not a thing in bot matches, because, well, usually bots can, in theory, micro against them perfectly, but in practice, a lot of them don't. And it's something that I think kind of gets disregarded, to say, oh, the enemy could just program their bot to micro perfectly against all splash damage, but that definitely doesn't happen all the time. So we see another Corruptor out for Siriusbot. That one actually goes down after hunting down more overlords. There's been 7 dead in total. Princess Mika has its own Mutas flying around now. We've got 1 Muta on each side now, which is a little bizarre. More Banelings rolling around, looking for something to connect to. Presently, the economy is definitely in favor of Siriusbot at 78 workers to 46. Princess Mika is just in unit-making mode as more Banelings are being produced. We've got 1 Muta, slays the other Muta, and then dies to the Hydras, but there's more Banelings being added. And that's something that's very scary, is the idea of bot speed mining, massing Banelings, which could just create a ridiculous amount. And that's what we're seeing here, as a ton of Banelings crash into a single queen. There's no +1 melee attack to help those Banelings out. It's on the way now for Siriusbot. Meanwhile, Princess Mika has its own Banelings en masse. They do have +1 attack, and that can definitely help out here. Siriusbot could be in a bit of trouble. It's got its own banelings in this Overlord, but no counter banelings. There's one coming in. Queen's absorbing banes across the map. The Dropper Lord is still moving around. I'm not sure where it's trying to go. Princess Mika's Overlords are still making the mad dash to the center during all this chaos. And Siriusbot is holding on for now. It's keeping its superior economy. The trades have been in favor of Princess Mika tests this game. Meanwhile, Muta's fighting other Mutas. Hydra's getting attacked by slow Lings since there's no speed for there is speed for Siriusbot. And then, yeah, let's see here. We've got more Mutas on the way here for both of these bots. Roach harassment being attempted for Princess Mika and succeeding. There is no tunneling claws for the Roaches just yet, though. So that actually makes them regenerate. Well, they can't move while burrowed. I'm not sure if that affects the regeneration rate or not. I feel like someone told me that previously, but I didn't know if I really believed it or not. Anyway, we do have Princess Mika getting aggressive, hitting an attempted 6 base for Siriusbot. The blue Zerg bot is presently still just on a 4 drone or 4 base economy. Some drones did just die, so we're gonna do another rare. I think some drones died. Where's that Dropper Lord going? It's empty. There was a full one, I thought. I kind of want to know what happened to those banelings, so we're gonna do that. I apologize. Oh yeah, it's another little baneling drop, which is cool, but no attack upgrade on the banes does mean they aren't that efficient this time. And yeah, things are just continuing on. The blue Zerg has got basically double the economy compared to its opponent. We're getting, yeah, just units spammed on both sides. In theory, Siriusbot is in a better position than its opponent, but it completely depends on the trade. The compositions are crazy for both of these bots. The banelings for Siriusbot could potentially clean up these Zerglings depending on the connections. The Mutas are definitely a threat, though. We're getting more Corruptors made in response to this, though, but there's not enough to save this base location. As I say that, maybe there is Mutas of Siriusbot coming on in, and I think there's... Oh, pardon me, I did not mean to do that. I think there is an upgrade lead here. Yeah, we got +1 attack versus 1-1, so Siriusbot's Mutas are in theory better. They are, however, outnumbered until those Corruptors and more Mutas get out. We're all of a sudden getting more tech going up for Siriusbot, investing in a Roach War and a Hydra Den. Crazy how we haven't seen that yet. There's also 2 Spires for the Blue Zerg, which I kind of like if it starts researching 2 upgrades at once. Queen's coming down, able to shoot those Mutas out of the sky very easily, even dropping Transfuse, showing some nice functionality there for Siriusbot, picking off a Hydra. Now, Princess Mika may lose a lot of Overlords here. This could be very painful for a Zerg bot that's on a really, really low economy compared to its opponent. Like, Overlords are not cheap. Princess Mika is going to be supply blocked into the Stone Age. And then we've even got some more harassment going on, it seems. Princess Mika down to 40 drones. I'm quite concerned for the red Zerg at this point, just continuously sending these Overlords to their death. It's going to need to get some really good efficiency here somehow, but we see Siriusbot getting up a Greater Spire, getting up an Ultra Cavern. It seems that some of these Zerg authors don't have the most refined bots, but they definitely do bake in the functionality to have, or maybe they're built off a framework, but they do have the functionality to get out all the tech, it seems. There's not a lot missing from either of these bots, and it's very enjoyable to see them battle it out. We're having another attempt at an Overlord drop. I'm not sure where that Overlord's going to end up. I think it actually just got fungled amidst all this chaos. Meanwhile, we have Queens trying to fight Roaches and Hydras. That's not going to go too well, but then Banelings roll forward and are able to get some decent connections there. Roaches can at least burrow to try and stay alive. The Hydras are a little too slow for that. We do have that other Dropper Lord trying to move around for Siriusbot. I'm not sure why it keeps getting pulled in multiple locations. It's a little strange, but it's been fairly successful so far. The creeps are indeed touching this game now, so the Zerg bots can battle each other the way they're designed to, with just mass queens against mass queens. Princess Mika's army is looking pretty formidable at this point. While it's got a much lower income, its trades are superior compared to its opponent, as Siriusbot has thrown away a lot of banelings compared to its opponent. And here we have an Ultra coming on in for Siriusbot. That's going to turn things around. That can't be really fungal, that can't be neuraled, and it's just chasing down these Zerg units. Ultras are such a funny thing, but they're very enjoyable to watch in ZVZ because they totally just break up the enemy army. And let's see, we're getting a Swarm Host on the way for Princess Mika test. There is another Baneling drop going on, killing off some drones, forcing them to scatter. The Zergbot, the red Zerg, is up to 44 drones, so it's at least rebuilding some sometimes. And then we take a look, 7 more drones, 8 more drones being produced for Princess Mika test. Roaches and Queens battling Hydras and Infestors for the most part. Another Ultra is being produced. Siriusbot, though, using its better economy to produce 16 Banelings. And the fact that these 2 Zergs are fighting exclusively on creep, it seems, that definitely favors the Baneling Ultra bot, I think. As Siriusbot moves forward, it's got +3 armor on these Ultras, so they're mighty tough. No chitinous plating yet, but it's being researched, and look at how strong this thing is. But it all comes full circle as the Ultra runs into the Spine Crawlers and gets shut down. Siriusbot is looking to break this hatchery, though, and it's mighty close to going down. Banelings rolling around. The hatchery is left alive, though, as something must have changed that pulls Siriusbot off that attack. That's definitely a missed opportunity there for the blue Zerg. So giving Princess Mika a little bit of grace here. And yeah, that may give the red Zerg the time it needs to somehow come back in this game. We've got mutas being produced. Siriusbot, meanwhile, attempting to expand. It's very consistent with these Baneling drops, but I'm not sure this one's going to get anything done. I'm curious if it's got behavior just to unload the Banelings if the Overlord's about to go down or not. That would be very cool to see. Meanwhile, the blue Zerg is just spamming out more units. There is a supply lead for Siriusbot, an upgrade lead as well. Another Ultra comes on in. Banelings rolling forward. The Ultra is a little bit outnumbered here, though. There's mutas raining down on it. And yes, again, not the best trade here for Siriusbot, as Princess Mika is taking the better trades and has been consistently this game. Its muta count is looking pretty nice here, as there's not enough anti-air for Siriusbot. We're getting more Corruptors and mutas being made, probably in response to this, which is nice to see. Baneling's still rolling forward, getting connections. Make no mistake, though, time is on Siriusbot's side in this game, the bot which has more expansions than its opponent. Princess Mika is going to be starting to mine out its bases, as the main base is mined out of minerals. The natural will be mining out. The third and the fourth do still have a while to go yet, so it's not pressing just yet, but it could be a factor if this game goes on long enough. So we'll see if Princess Mika can get up a 5th base, something like that. As an attack moves forward for the red Zerg, trying to get some counter damage done. The trades are still pretty good. Baneling's rolling forward, getting some decent connections there as Corruptors battle the mutas, but the backbone of Princess Mika's army is very strong still. More Banelings moving forward, supported by Roaches and Hydras. This could be a potential cleanup here by the blue Zerg bot as Siriusbot moves on in, picking off some Hydras. And that might be enough to drive Princess Mika back for a little while. And if Siriusbot can do that, that's kind of a victory for the blue Zerg. A hatchery actually goes down. Doesn't look like there's any cancellation behavior there, but then in comes an Overlord for Siriusbot, chasing down a Roach, but then getting chased away by a single Mutalisk as just the nonstop skirmish goes on. Very importantly in this match, Siriusbot has been, or Princess Mika has been able to start up a 5th base, and that is really good for the red Zerg. It means maybe it can just keep trading out like this. During the chaos, the red Zerg has been able to get up to 73 drones, minimizing the one advantage that Siriusbot had in this game, really, which was its better economy. I mean, it's had a better upgrade advantage, but we've seen that it hasn't been doing that much, probably because of the composition and just the way it's been engaging with a ridiculous amount of Banelings it's been throwing at its opponent. So unless Siriusbot can get some nice damage done, which it did just kill some drones with a Dropper Lord, it could be in some trouble. Picking off a dozen Overlords would be really nice for Siriusbot as its Hydras go to work, and that can be some good value there. Banelings rolling forward, attempted fungal on them, doesn't really connect, but still, nothing amazing for Siriusbot except getting some nice free Overlords. Mutas, though, are kind of defending the Overlords. Queen and Hydra not going to get that many or more Overlords. And both of these bots are just building up their army still. Siriusbot is building up quite a force here. Banelings, Hydras, and Lings, I'm excited to see it go. And there it goes as the blue Zerg rolls forward, picks off everything on the ground. Hydras can deal with the Mutas for sure as the Banelings are rolling forward. A fungal growth hits some of these units. Corruptors in the skies helping out too. But then Siriusbot pulls back some of its units, and that means it's only fighting with half its army, which is definitely not optimal. Princess Mika does lose a lot of its Corruptors though, but it can rebuild some of this economy. Meanwhile, the Dropper Lord moving towards the natural. No wonder this base isn't mined out yet. It keeps getting disrupted. I'm wondering if Siriusbot ever changes target with the Dropper Lords or not. Princess Mika may be losing some more overlords due to derpage here, but take a look. The supplies are now even. Siriusbot's army supply is much lower than that of Princess Mika, and that generally, or that I think signals things are going the Red Zerg's way in this 20-minute ZVZ. I don't know what I expected in this game, but it wasn't this. And it's been quite a great match between these two bots. And we'll see whether Siriusbot can hold on. Things are really starting to turn around. Banelings rolling forward, killing off some Hydras. Defender's advantage is huge in these bot matches, but Siriusbot down in supply now as Princess Mika moves forward. There is queens now for Siriusbot. Those with transfuse can definitely help out. Defender's advantage is a big deal when it comes to these engagements. We're maybe lacking overseers on both sides of these bots, as that means the roaches can, in theory, burrow to stay alive. Princess Mika doing a little bit of over-burrowing, though. We're now getting lunge on the way for the Hydras. That would be cool to see for Siriusbot. I'm not sure if we've seen any bots make use of that or not. I'm trying to think if, like, Eris uses lunge yet. I don't think so, which is interesting and maybe something to look forward to. So Siriusbot on it with the tech. It's getting out more ultras, but army supplies are neck and neck once more. Princess Mika at 66 drones, but keeping this new base alive has given Princess Mika a new lease on life. If it had lost this fourth base, this game very well could have been over, but instead it's been able to keep fighting on. Hydra's doing a good job kiting back against the Ultras. The trade's just not going Siriusbot's way, although supply is looking a little better for the Blue Zerg once again, as Siriusbot does move forward, but still unable to kill a hatchery. It might have got a few drones there, but Princess Mika is not out of this just yet. As I say that, though, Siriusbot is moving forward with the rest of its army, and all of a sudden, Princess Mika just seems to have fewer units than its opponent. I'm wondering if that's because it took the chance to research all the +3 upgrades, which are not cheap, and then invest in a lurker den, which prevented it from building critical army at a critical moment. It does actually lose that fifth base. I thought things were starting to trend up for Princess Mika, but they've taken a drastic turn for the worse all of a sudden. I'm quite surprised by this. And now let's see, we're now getting Locust fighting some of these Zerg units. That's free damage, but I'm not sure we've really seen those swarm hosts being used throughout this game. A transfuse trying to save this hatchery, it looks like. But yeah, Princess Mika's economy just crumbles. It loses its overlords. And with a lot of persistence, Siriusbot is able to take this game. Man, oh man, what a great ZVZ between these two upcoming bots. In the end, though, Siriusbot able to take it. It was so close to turning in Princess Mika's favor, I think. It must have been those +3 upgrades. Maybe there was something going on. I do apologize if I missed things observing. Let me know in the comments if you guys don't mind whether I do little rewinds, things like that. Because, like, I try and not interrupt the game flow generally, but at the same time, there's certain things you want to see. And so, yeah, let me know. Click that like button if you haven't already. If we can get a like for every dead overlord in this game, that would be decent. And yeah, just let me know if you want to see more of these up-and-coming bots. If you guys want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member. That goes a long way and is greatly appreciated. There's also links in the description of other things to check out. And yeah, just very, very good game. I'm always a little skeptical when it comes to casting lower level bots, to be honest, because, you know, you usually want to watch the best of the best, but it's the same thing with amateur Starcraft 2, or just not quite top of the top pro level as it is with bots across all levels. If two opponents are evenly matched, the games can be very exciting. And yeah, So feel free to send me your replays if you're a bot author and you want your games cast. If they're games as good as this, I will happily cast them, as this was a lot of non-stop action. When a game's result is in doubt, that's when the games are the best to cast. And yes, let's see here as some broodlings getting thrown out. Siriusbot did eventually get to broodlords, which is cool. There's the GG. GG.